Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the Mr. Fix-It channel. I got the Polaris 400 out in the shop again today, and I want to go over the vent hoses, tubes, and pipes on this thing. Stay tuned.
I was sitting out there in the shed one evening, not doing too much of nothing, just kind of staring at the wall. And
just to clarify here and clear up some of the confusion, there is several vent tubes, so let me take the seat off and I'll show you where a couple of them are. And also, apparently, I have a rodent bed. So we'll delete this. And that's why I put a screen on my air intake, because they were getting in the air filter. But down in here, on your carburetor you have two lines. There's one on the top right here. This is the bowl vent. This needs to be routed down to the bottom, towards the skid plate. On the bottom of the carburetor, you can just see it poking out right there. See that yellow line? That is the overflow tube. That also needs to be routed down to the skid plate. Both of those lines get vented to the atmosphere, so they don't connect anything. They just dangle down by the skid plate. You have another vent on the transmission right by the dipstick tube. That again needs to be routed down towards the skid plate, down in there. Also, looking in here, right beside the carburetor, there's also another vent tube right there. You can see the two shift linkages. This is also a vent tube for the balance shaft. It needs to be routed down and towards the skid plate. Okay, there's two more vent tubes. They're underneath this cowling, so let me remove this and I'll show you where those are and where they go. Okay, with the cowling removed, you can clearly see the oil tank. The oil tank has a vent line, and it runs up through here, and it actually loops up underneath this rubber pad and clips to the handlebar right there. The gas tank also has a vent tube. It's connected right here and does the same thing the oil tank does. It comes up and clips to the handlebar right there. Okay, there's one more vent tube, and if we go down in here behind the radiator and on the fan itself, the cooling fan, if you follow my light, there is a vent tube connected onto the fan, and that needs to be routed up. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a vent tube on the fan and it runs up there, and it's zip tied to the wire right there. Okay, that's all the vent tubes on this machine, but there's a few other pipes that you may not know, and I'm just going to go over those now. So you have the oil feed line coming down from the oil tank here. There's a filter right there, and it goes into the oil injection pump right there, and you have the tube for that, and the tube comes out of the oil injection line, gets tied into that clip there, and it runs up to the side of the carburetor right there. So it's kind of behind this clutch cover, lives back in there. Now this tube right here, I moved my coolant overflow tank under the seat. It's actually right there now. So that's the tube for it. So your machine's not going to have that tube because the coolant tank goes right here. And of course you have your fuel feed line right there, and it flows down into the carburetor. Okay, this piece that your overflow container actually hooks to, this is actually an air duct, and it draws air in. That's what this vent is over here on the side. This vent here, it draws air in there, it flows down, comes down this pipe, it comes out of the side of the engine case, and this works, the clutch works like a fan. It draws the air in, it cools the belt, then comes back out this tube, and then this tube actually exits onto the cylinder head there and actually helps to cool the engine as well as the belt. Other than that, you have your obvious your brake lines and your radiator coolant lines, the big heavy rubber hoses. I don't know if you can even see that from in here. So there's one right there that runs to the top of the motor, and then there's one on the other side that runs down to the bottom of the engine, way down in there. And I almost forgot, this hose here goes to the coolant overflow reservoir, the one coming off the radiator just below the cap. Hey, if this video helped you out, consider giving me a thumbs up. check out this playlist right here I have on this machine, and thanks for watching.